guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Jen. Welcome to the Drunk Goose Club. Honk honk, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Piers Morgan. He is reacting big time to Endgame, and I'm here for it. I want to watch it, pause it, react to it, have a conversation about it. This is courtesy of Sky News. Let's take a look at what's being said because, as we know, Piers is no fan of theirs, and neither am I, so let's jump in and have some laughs, shall we?
As they did with the last book until Meghan was put under oath and had to admit actually she had emailed her aide some thoughts before they sat down with the authors.
Sorry for the abrupt start. That's how this clip just started out in the middle of his sentence. But yes, I keep bringing this up. I love that Piers is bringing it up. Lest we all forget, right? Let's all remember that she claimed to have forgotten to have worked with him on his first book. So I wonder what the excuse this time. Is he one of the ist words that she likes to throw around? Nothing's ever her fault. It's always somebody else's. So what could she blame this time?
Which you might think is being in cahoots. Well, are they again in cahoots? Let's discuss.
Okay, Tessa is the blonde. She bugs a piss out of me too. She really likes to defend the Sussexes. So I'm going to probably skip past some of her parts because it's annoying as shit. But I love what Piers has to say about this. Let's take a listen.
Given you normally park yourself in the defending the indefensible about all things Sussex, what do you think of Scobie's late? Just when it seemed like they were getting off the radar, back comes Scobie with a series of apparently damning revelations about all the royals apart from the two in Montecito.
Yeah, from all the extracts that we've had access to and from the interviews that Omid's done and the likes of Paris Match, certainly he's parked his tanks firmly on their lawn. Queen Victoria recommended against royals having friendships, and if Omid was once the Sussex's friend, I bet they could flick him off like slime right now because the timing's terrible. And
Nope. That's giving them too much of a pass. There is no way he would know details like he does or claims to without their help. It's just my opinion that they absolutely had their grubby hands all in this. They worked together on this. I mean, it's it's a takedown piece, right? Or they're trying to anyway. And who has a history of trying to do that? Harry and Meghan.
I feel that Omid is actually behind the curve on this. While you've moved on a bit, I think, I'll give you credit, and Harry and Meghan, to an extent, I think, after the sort of bomb of the Netflix and the book, have been really quite stum. Omid seems to be sort of stuck in the past.
Hi, so are Harry and Meghan. That's what we're saying. They pretended like they wanted to move on. Well, that privacy. Yet they're the ones still doing this stuff, still talking about it.
Well, also, he's a liar. And I'll tell you how I know he's a liar, because he writes a bit about me in the book.
I know, I was going to ask you about that.
I got a copy of the book today, and I just checked, as you do. It's a digital copy. I did a little search. Up I come 3 or 4 times. And on one occasion, he states, as a fact, that I have regular phone conversations with Queen Camilla. For the record, I have never had a single phone conversation with Queen Camilla. Now, he says, as a fact, in his book, that we have regular phone conversations.
I am not giving Omid a pass. He wrote it. He should be in trouble and held accountable for it. But doesn't that sound like some shit Harry would say? Remember with his court case? Like, Harry, why do you think people are tapping your phone? Why are you convinced of this? Reasons. I mean, like these vague answers. I believe it, so it must be true. So it sounds to me like something Harry would believe. That Queen Camilla was talking to Piers Morgan, so it must be true.
That I know, personally know, is an absolute lie. He also says that when I said on Good Morning Britain that Meghan Markle was Princess Pinocchio, that apparently she reached out to me, Queen Camilla, to thank me for standing up for the firm.
Did she?
I had zero contact with Queen Camilla.
Again, sounds like stuff Harry said in the past, and coincidentally, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Harry takes huge swipes at Camilla in Spare. Again, it's almost like these two have an agenda and they had their friend write a book to continue this agenda. Just saying.
Around that time at all.
So you've got no embossed thank you notes from Camilla?
Nothing.
Before she was a queen?
Nothing.
Is there any communication?
I did, however, as I said publicly at the time, have conversations with several other members of the royal family, but it wasn't Queen Camilla. So my point, it was come to Hillary. Hillary, I know personally that just the little bits about me are completely untrue. They're lies. So why should I believe any of this stuff?
They got busted for lying in his first book about working together. So why in the world would anybody believe anything from this book as well?
Well, you're absolutely right to question it. I remember the time that you said that if she told you the weather, you wouldn't believe her. A few things here I would say. They say if you're going to lie, be big, go bold. He states things so factually that I think your average person, of course, they can't sift through things. They don't know that you know that these were mistruths and that bold-faced lies. So if he goes so big, people will actually almost assume it's got to be true. I'll tell you something, though, Piers, that someone that nobody really is mentioning and no one's talking about, and that is Meghan Markle's dear friend, very close friend that she's posted online, whom she loves, and that is Marcus Anderson. Well, as we know, Omid Scobie has a very close relationship to him. Who knows how much of this is actually coming from him, and maybe that's the source.
Oh, yes, Marcus, Soho House, what incestuous web we weave, right? Okay, so again, this bugs me too because it's taking responsibility off Meghan. So we all know how this works. So what? She's whispering things to Marcus, and then he's whispering it to Omid. I mean, so what? It's still coming from Meghan.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's
whom he's quoting.
It's a really good point because we know because she went under oath in a court case. Meghan Markle had to admit she briefed an aide to then brief Scobie and the co-author.
You know where my mind just wandered to? Just go with me here for a second. How beautiful would it be if it came out during the whatever it's called, the case, the trial, whatever, with Samantha Markle, if it came out and she had to admit she worked with Omid on this book. It came out in a trial before. I just think that would be so great for Samantha's case, and just in general, it'd be hilarious for it to come out that way.
And what about this, Tessa? There's a point in the book where he talks about the contents of letters between King Charles and Meghan Markle, in which two members of the royal household, I know who they supposedly are, right, these two people, let's call them royal household, that two of them had expressed these infamous concerns about the skin colour of baby Archie before he was born, right? But my question is, obviously he's not got that from King Charles.
No.
So he can only have got it from Meghan Markle or her friends or people she's told this to, right? So, you know, it's two things, this book. One is blatant lies. Secondly, stuff he can only have got from Meghan Markle.
It is deeply unhelpful and poorly timed from the Sussexes' point of view, which is why I don't think they have collaborated with him recently. Remember...
Nope, I'm calling bullshit. Again, this is my opinion, but come on. Meghan, you're telling me Meghan wouldn't want to see the final copy of this thing or have a red pen circling and writing over and over, you know, things in the book like, oh, throw more dirt at Catherine, you know, that kind of stuff. No, I don't think that they threw some information at Scobie and then backed out of it. No way. Neither one of them. That's not their personality that we've seen thus far.
This book's been a long time in the cooking. He started writing it before the Queen died. It's possible that in the wake of the Oprah Winfrey interview, when tensions were running high, that things did get spilt out, that now I expect the pair of
that racism allegation, I said this to you before, it never appeared in Harry's book.
Yeah.
In fact, it's never been mentioned again.
So they've moved on.
It's like it never it's like it never happened, which, by the way, is what I said at the time.
I am not a fan of this narrative. They've moved on. Bullshit. You don't get to throw the grenade and then say you've moved on. F off. You're the one that told these lies on Oprah and everywhere else, and then came back out and said, no, we didn't. It was the press that did that. Blah. No, you don't get to do that and then move on or choose when you move on. That's not how this works.
I don't believe this happened. Let me go back to Hillary. Hillary, what is the reputation of Meghan and Harry in America right now? I mean, do people care?
Well, actually, I would say when Harry bangs on about mental health, most Americans, it seems, are far more concerned about the price of petrol here, gas, and the inflation rate in the US. That's sort of the main topic of conversation. But I will say this about in the US. I tell you an absolute fact. Not only can you look at the polls, Piers, but look at the A-listers, look at the Hollywood set. They're not invited to all those A-list events anymore.
Everybody else find that so deliciously funny because I sure as shit do. Who the hell would want to invite them anyway? They're probably wearing wires and Meghan's got her hands on any mic she can see. And they bring bodyguards and shit. It's so stupid.
I think that says a lot because they're the bellwether for the American people. The paparazzi here isn't as interested in them as they were. And look what happened in New York City. They even had to make up that concocted car chase
ridiculous.
that the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, had to refute.
Anyone who's been in New York knew that story was nonsense. Just a final point. We've got about 30 seconds. He says this is the beginning of the end of the monarchy. Is it?
No, like I say, Omid Scobie is behind the curve. Harry and Meghan will not have wanted this book to land now. They have been very silent recently. They have dropped on the radar. They did make a few mistakes and they're trying to rebuild. Meanwhile, the monarchy's had a relatively good year, all calm on the Western Front. Let's just put along, and I expect Charles and Harry will
I actually think
communicate
this
at
might be
Christmas.
the end game for Omid Scobie. One of the most loathsome little lickspittles in modern history. Thank you both very much indeed.
And there you go. Loathsome little lick spittle. That is brilliant. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I know that one was kind of annoying, that one lady. But it is funny, even as a Sussex defender, I don't use their titles, even as a Harry and Meghan defender, she still kind of had to admit that it doesn't make any sense that they're pretending they didn't work together. Anyway, nothing they ever do makes any sense. I'm here for it. I'm here to break it all down and talk about it as per usual. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. These two are ridiculous, and you better believe I will continue to call it out. I hope you all have the best day, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Bye-bye.